Hi, everybody! Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the escalating tensions in Port Charles as Willow gears up for a heated confrontation with her mother. Nina Reeves over a shocking past affair, while Sonny lays down the law across town and Molly Lansing Davis delivers an unexpected twist to Cody Bell's day. Diving right into the drama unfolding on Monday, July 28th, viewers can expect Sonny to assert his dominance in a crucial meeting with Marco Rios, emphasizing the importance of boundaries in the dangerous world of underworld dealings. Sonny, ever the strategic mob boss with a history of navigating treacherous alliances, will make it abundantly clear that Marco's safety hinges on steering clear of any entanglements with the notorious Sidwell. This warning isn't just idle chatter. It's rooted in Sonny's years of experience fending off rivals who threaten his empire. Imagine the tension in the room as Sonny's piercing gaze locks onto Marco, his voice steady but laced with an undercurrent of menace, reminding everyone that in Port Charles, loyalty and discretion are non-negotiable. Adding a layer of intrigue, this encounter sets the stage for potential future clashes, as Sonny anticipates moves from adversaries who might exploit any perceived weakness in his operations. Meanwhile, Sidwell isn't one to back down easily, and his upcoming chat with Lucy promises to be a masterclass in deception. Sidwell, portrayed as a cunning operator with a flair for psychological warfare, will smoothly pitch the notion of a truce with Sonny, painting a picture of harmonious coexistence that could lull even the most vigilant into a false sense of security. But don't be fooled, deep down, Sidwell's intentions are far from peaceful. He's merely biding his time, calculating his strikes like a chess grandmother plotting several moves ahead. Inventing a new twist here, perhaps Sidwell subtly drops hints about a mysterious shipment arriving in Port Charles, one that could upend the power dynamics if it falls into the wrong hands. This conversation with Lucy, who often finds herself entangled in high-stakes schemes despite her bubbly demeanor, might even include flirtatious banter to mask his true agenda, leaving Lucy pondering whether this charming facade hides a venomous bite. Ultimately, Sidwell's restraint is tactical. He knows that rash actions could backfire, so he's meticulously planning his retaliation, ensuring it hits Sonny where it hurts most, perhaps targeting his family or business interests in ways that echo past vendettas in the show's storied history. Shifting gears to the brewing storm between Carly Spencer and Lucas Jones, the Sonny-Sidwell feud is spilling over into their lives, igniting fresh conflicts that could fracture old bonds. Carly, with her fierce protective instincts honed from years of standing by Sonny through countless crises, might find herself at odds with Lucas over how to handle the escalating threats. Picture a heated exchange in a dimly lit corner of the Metro Court, where Lucas, drawing from his medical background and desire for stability, urges caution and distance from the mobster's world, while Carly defends her ex-husband's choices with unyielding loyalty. To expand on this, let's introduce a new element. Lucas could reveal a personal stake, like a patient at the hospital who's been indirectly affected by Sidwell's operations, adding emotional weight to their argument. This disagreement isn't just surface level. It delves into deeper themes of family loyalty versus self-preservation, reminiscent of past storylines where characters like Jason Morgan had to choose sides. As the situation intensifies, their clash could lead to unexpected alliances or even force Carly to reconsider her role in Sonny's turbulent life, heightening the stakes for everyone involved. On a lighter yet intriguing note, Molly Lansing Davis is set to catch Cody Bell completely off guard during an encounter at the local pool, injecting some spark into the episode. Molly, known for her sharp wit and legal prowess, might approach Cody with a playful challenge or a surprising proposition, perhaps inviting him to join a charity event or sharing an inside joke that hints at their growing chemistry. Cody, the rugged, stable hand with a hidden Quartermain heritage, will be visibly taken aback, his usual composure cracking into a genuine smile as he realizes she's turned the tables on him. To flesh this out creatively, imagine the sun glinting off the water as Molly teases him about his swimming skills, drawing from a fabricated backstory where Cody once boasted about being a lifeguard in his youth. This moment builds on their budding connection, but it's not without complications. Later, Christina Corinthos Davis casts a disapproving glare Cody's way, muttering under her breath about this being her worst fear realized. Christina's reaction stems from her protective instincts, especially as Cody's seduction mission with Eva Jerome seems to be evolving into genuine feelings, potentially stirring up jealousy or concern for her sister's well-being in the tangled web of Port Charles romances. Speaking of Christina, she stepped into the role of trusted confidant for her brother Michael Corinthos, offering a shoulder to lean on amid his heartache. Michael, grappling with the void left by Sasha Gilmore Corbin's departure from Port Charles alongside little Daisy Gilmore, might open up about the emotional toll of their Exeter haps, sharing poignant memories of family moments that now feel like distant echoes. Inventing additional depth, Michael could confide in Christina about a letter Sasha left behind, filled with regrets and hopes for reconciliation, which only amplifies his sense of loss. Christina, with her own experiences of love and loss, will listen empathetically, maybe advising him on finding closure or even suggesting he reach out to Sasha in a new way, like through a heartfelt video message. This sibling bond highlights the Corinthos family's resilience, providing a counterpoint to the chaos elsewhere and reminding viewers of the human vulnerabilities beneath the drama. Eva Jerome, meanwhile, finds herself rattled after her recent run-in with Nina Reeves, sensing that a storm of revelations is brewing. Nina's abrupt decision to cut ties with Drew Kane's destructive influence, storming off with determination, leaves Eva on edge, knowing full well that this could unravel multiple secrets in Port Charles. To add a fresh angle, Eva might retreat to her gallery, staring at a painting that symbolizes betrayal, perhaps a new invention like an abstract piece gifted by a past lover, while pondering how Nina's actions could expose her own schemes. Eva's shaken state underscores her vulnerability, a rare glimpse behind her poised exterior, as she braces for the fallout that might involve custody battles or lost alliances. The centerpiece of the episode revolves around Willow Tate's explosive confrontation with Nina over the affair with Drew Kane, fueled by Curtis Ashford's bombshell update. Willow, upon learning that Drew was secretly involved with her mother last summer, right as Willow herself was falling for him, will demand answers directly from Nina, her voice trembling with betrayal in a scene straight out of the preview. "Did you and Drew have an affair?" she accused, her eyes flashing with hurt. Nina, tearful and cornered, may admit the truth but counter by exposing Willow's own secret as Daisy's stalker, turning the tables in a desperate bid to salvage their fragile mother-daughter bond. Expanding creatively, this clash could unfold in Nina's Crimson office, surrounded by glossy magazines that mockingly tout perfect lives, as Nina pleads with Willow not to let Drew corrupt her spirit. Nina's plea includes a heartfelt reflection on her own past mistakes, inventing a detail where she recalls a similar betrayal in her youth that shaped her guarded heart. The argument unpacks layers of deception, with Nina decrying the changes in Willow and making one final push for forgiveness, all while hoping to preserve their deception ties amid the emotional wreckage. As for Drew Kane, he's optimistically assuring young Scout Kane of a fairy tale ending, promising that their family will thrive happily ever after, but that's contingent on Willow's choices. The wedding presses on, though Jen Sidwell appears ready to snub Lucy Coe's invitation, perhaps citing prior commitments that hint at his shadowy plans. Will Willow leave Drew at the altar in a dramatic twist, or proceed with vows tainted by doubt? Either way, Drew holds leverage, having pieced together Willow's stalker secret, which he might wield to manipulate the outcome. In a new invented scenario, Drew could have a private moment of reflection, weighing the ethics of using this knowledge against his love for Willow, adding moral complexity to his character. Next, we will learn about the mounting crisis surrounding Willow Corinthos as she grapples with the unraveling web of deceit spun by her fiancé, Drew Quarterman, whose manipulative tactics threaten to shatter families and expose long-buried truths in Port Charles. At the heart of this intensifying storyline, Willow finds herself teetering on the edge of a life-altering decision. With Drew's shadowy secrets poised to burst into the open like a storm cloud over the serene skyline of Port Charles, Drew, once seen as a pillar of strength with his military background and business acumen, has been orchestrating a series of calculated deceptions that have poisoned relationships and manipulated emotions at every turn. For instance, he's cruelly misled young Wiley Corinthos by whispering poisonous lies that his father, Michael, abandoned him right after little Daisy's birth, planting seeds of doubt in the child's innocent mind that could scar him for years. Adding a fresh layer to this betrayal, imagine Drew staging a private heart-to-heart with Wiley in the Quartermain Mansion's garden, using fabricated stories complete with forged letters supposedly from Michael, all to drive a wedge deeper between father and son. Furthermore, Drew's machinations extend to bribing a shady nurse in a German clinic to feed Willow false narratives about Michael's rejection during her vulnerable postpartum days, twisting what could have been a path to reconciliation into a chasm of resentment. Now escalating his schemes, Drew is engineering phony drug tests to brand Michael as an unstable addict, aiming to dismantle his credibility in an upcoming custody battle. This revelation, bubbling up through whispers in the hospital corridors, has fans on the edge of their seats eagerly anticipating the moment when Willow confronts the full extent of Drew's villainy. As the truth inches closer to the surface, Willow's world is set to implode, forcing her to choose a path that could redefine her future and the lives of those she loves. Will she shatter under the pressure of these revelations, her carefully constructed life crumbling like a house of cards in a fierce wind? Or will she retreat into a cocoon of denial, clinging to the illusion of Drew's affection despite the mounting evidence? Alternatively, she might summon an inner reservoir of courage, drawing from her history as a resilient teacher and mother, to unmask Drew's treachery and shield Michael from further harm. Inventing an intriguing new element, perhaps Willow stumbles upon a hidden digital trail encrypted emails on Drew's laptop detailing the bribe to the German nurse during a quiet evening at home, her hands trembling as she pieces together the puzzle. Yet, the most harrowing option looms, accepting Drew's sinister proposition to deepen the deception by tampering with more tests, guaranteeing Michael's downfall in court and paving the way for Willow to regain custody of their children. This crossroads echoes classic General Hospital dilemmas, where characters like Carly Spencer have faced similar moral quagmires, balancing love against integrity in the face of betrayal. Willow's emotional entanglement with Drew complicates everything, as her heartstrings are pulled taut by their shared moments of apparent bliss, even as his pile of deceptions grows ever higher, threatening to bury any chance of genuine happiness. Fans are buzzing with excitement, speculating in online forums about how these lies have not only toyed with a child's perception of paternal love, but also sabotaged what might have been an amicable co-parenting dynamic between Michael and Willow. By convincing them they were irreconcilable foes, Drew has robbed them of precious time to heal for the sake of their kids, all while positioning himself as the heroic alternative. To expand creatively, envision a flashback scene where Drew, in a dimly lit hotel room overseas, hands over a wad of cash to the nurse, his face a mask of cold determination, ensuring Willow's isolation during her most fragile state. Now with falsified drug results designed to portray Michael as unfit, Drew's ruthlessness knows no bounds, potentially stripping away his parental rights and reshaping family alliances in Port Charles. The audience is thrilled at the prospect of these secrets exploding, much like past scandals involving the Quartermain clan, where hidden agendas have led to dramatic courtroom showdowns and heartfelt reconciliations. With the wedding bells tolling ever closer, the ripple effects of Drew's plots are spreading like wildfire through the community, and Willow's fragile reality hangs in the balance, ready to collapse if the full scope of his betrayals comes to light. Drew has boldly escalated his game by vowing to Willow that she reunite with her children far sooner than imagined, leveraging his influence to bend circumstances in her favor, but at what cost? He's coerced Portia Robinson into facilitating these doctored tests, holding some undisclosed leverage over her, perhaps tied to a fabricated scandal involving her medical license from years ago, adding a new invented twist that heightens the tension. However, Portia emerges as an unpredictable factor in this equation. Burdened by guilt and the erosion of her professional ethics, she might defy expectations by confessing everything, seeking redemption and freeing herself from Drew's grip. If she holds her tongue, the burden shifts squarely to Willow, who must decide if her desperation for her kids outweighs the moral abyss of participating in such a heinous scheme. Picture the intensity of a clandestine meeting in the hospital's empty lab, where Portia, sweat beading on her forehead, weighs the risks of betrayal against her oath to do no harm. The temptation Drew presents is nothing short of diabolical, dangling the promise of restored motherhood like a poisoned apple, challenging Willow's very sense of self as she contemplates aligning with his dark agenda. In a gut-wrenching scene, Drew could corner Willow in a secluded park bench overlooking the harbor, his voice smooth and persuasive as he outlines the plan. Back him in sabotaging Michael's tests. Watch as custody tilts in her favor, and embrace the family she's always dreamed of. This offer strikes at her core desires, yet it carries the weight of irreversible consequences, potentially alienating her from allies and staining her conscience forever. To invent additional depth, Willow might recall a childhood memory of her own mother's deceptions, mirroring Nina Reeves' past errors, which fuels her internal conflict and pushes her toward a pivotal realization. Will she seize this shortcut to happiness, or will her innate sense of justice compel her to reject the deal and dismantle Drew's empire of lies? The fallout from Willow's decision promises to be seismic, with Michael likely reeling from the shock, his determination igniting a fierce pursuit of justice that could target Drew and even implicate the hospital in a web of corruption. Blindsided by the doctored results, Michael might channel his Corinthos heritage, launching an investigation with the help of a private detective, or hips a new character introduced as a tech-savvy ally from his business world, uncovering the tampering and exposing the conspiracy. This could lead to explosive confrontations, including a potential lawsuit that rocks General Hospital's foundations, drawing in figures like Elizabeth Weber for support. If Willow succumbs to Drew's influence, she risks not just her integrity but her soul, as the fake tests could unjustly rob Michael of his children. Echoing tragic custody arcs from the show's history like those involving Jason and Sam. Ultimately, fans are fervently hoping Willow awakens to the reality before it's too late, perhaps paving the way for a renewed bond with Michael and a mending of their post-divorce scars into something stronger. Can she summon the strength to face Drew's music, breaking free from his manipulative grasp, or will she plunge deeper into the trap, blinded by love and longing? The possibilities are endless, stirring debates among viewers about loyalty, redemption, and the cost of truth in the ever-twisting saga of Port Charles. What do you think? Will Willow rise as a hero or fall victim to deception? Stay tuned as these spoilers unfold in dramatic fashion on ABC General Hospital.